Hi everyone, and welcome back for another SAP Emarsys and SAP Sales and Service Cloud release video. I'm joined again today by my colleague Jef.
Hi, Tin.
Hi Jef, welcome back. And my name is Tin Paukwich. I'm the Sales and Service Cloud consultant here at Flexo. We will be guiding you through all the Emarsys Service and Sales Cloud release features. There's too many to mention. We're going to fly through it, but don't worry. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at Flexo.
All right, thanks, Tin, for the introduction. Let's kick it off with SAP Emarsys, the marketing automation solution of SAP. As you might know, the Emarsys release is due for the 20th of November, so we don't have a lot of new features to highlight yet. So what we gathered today is a feature of last release that is now become publicly available, and then a brief preview into a release that was already released but will become more enhanced in the upcoming release, or that's at least what I'm told by SAP. So the first feature that I would like to introduce is AI translation. A very common complaint that we hear from marketeers is, we always have to translate each email into the different languages. Is what they do now is they copy it into a translation tool like DeepL, then copy it back into the email. That's for the past. So now you can select your campaign in Emarsys directly. You pick your language. Then you can tweak some settings like how formal do you want to translate and those kind of things. And then you can choose to either run it immediately or run it in the background. If you have, let's say, 20 languages selected, then it's best to run in the background. You can choose to either use the Emarsys translation, or you can connect with another translation tool like DeepL or Smartly. So that's for the translations. And then the second one is the engagement events. Engagement events is a feature that already exists in Emarsys and basically is used to immediately direct to interactions that the customer or potential customer does with you. Now it's easier to use in your segmentation, as you can see in the screenshot shared. It's only in pilot, so you would have to request access by Emarsys, and then you can use it to, for instance, react to an increase in your subscription or a Sales Cloud interaction, like a locked opportunity or number of opportunities of that customer. That's it for Emarsys. So Tim, take it away.
Thank you, Jeff. So for Sales and Service Cloud, SAP has already released their release video. So we have a bunch of new features to go over. Starting off with general improvements for both Sales and Service Cloud. First of all, the notification interface has been enhanced. So now you can keep scrolling to see more notifications instead of the initial 5. And also there's an added click-through ability. So now from the notification, you can click straight through to the object that the notification is notifying you about. Do keep in mind that you have to activate this feature in the feature activation hub. You can also implement custom sorting in your list views. So that means you can either change the width, you can change the ascending, descending, or remove the sorting. And you can also, even as an end user, set your own default column by which you wish to sort by. And also added is the ability to modify the workspace sequence by an administrator, so you can customize all the workspaces in the order that your users need. For integrations, you can now replicate employees from SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud to Sales and Service Cloud. You can import pricing configuration from your ERP tools. You used to be able to do that, but through manual action. So you had to make a download, import it. Now you can directly transfer it from your ERP system to Sales Cloud. And you can use external IDs from your SAP ERP system to use as internal IDs in your Sales and Service Cloud system. In addition to the mashup environment is that you can now also create URL mashups in addition to the already existing HTML mashups. In extensibility, root fields have become available. So sometimes you need to reference a root field such as case status in order to trigger an action on another field. And these root fields have been finally made available. So that's significantly expanding the capabilities of your condition flow and dynamic properties. Right, so what is specific for SAP Sales Cloud? Kicking off with leads, you can change the account and individual customer associated with the lead, whereas that used to be static and you'd have to create a copy of the lead and start from there. Now you can just change it in the lead itself. The lead routing has been enhanced with a team option, so you can route to a specific team instead of an individual. There's a new list view added to the sales history of accounts, meaning that when you go into the sales history and navigate to leads, you can switch between the graph view and the list view for a bit of better UI experience and readability of all your leads. And also here in leads, you can customize sorting of the most relevant columns that you need as a user. Guided selling, custom KPI cards are now possible to be added to the homepage. You can set your your opportunity to either won or lost without completing mandatory steps if it has been allowed by the administrator. And you can now view your total opportunity volume by comparing the sizes in terms of quantity and not just in monetary value. There's some enhancements in the auto flow functionalities as well. The approval workflow now includes multiple responsibles for the approval, as well as direct approval. So this is kind of the functionalities we've seen in the V1 already, and now it's been added to V2 as well. And also when creating accounts, you can now automatically assign territories using auto flow rules. Another V1 feature that we were missing in V2. And you can configure role-based recipients. So now you have a more accurate routing to the most relevant person that needs to receive the notification. Then there's enhancements in the mobile app as well. You can add sales data when creating an account through mobile. There's an integrated duplicate check for accounts. So even on the go, you won't be polluting the system with duplicate accounts. You can receive notifications for approval requests on mobile, which is nice for the manager on the go. And the case details view now includes a to-do tab where you can add follow-up activities such as visits, appointments, and other planned activities. Also, a feature that makes it a bit more easy to manage your leads is to copy leads in the mobile device, so you don't have to start from scratch. Also, mobile now you can just copy it and move on from there. Switching to Service Cloud, there's a value help for custom fields. So what that means is when you create a custom field, for example, a preferred agent, when you're working with cases, in the employee field, you usually have like a value help selector to search for an employee. You can now use that same value help in your custom field so that you can search for employees in your newly created custom field. So that makes it quite a bit easier. Homepage KPI tiles already existed, and we've seen a bunch of them. And now the cases object is also finally available to create a KPI tile for in your homepage. And you can use all the standard elements such as filters. You can use graphs and charts to visualize your KPIs and many more. In general, there's quite some enhancements on the case object for Service Cloud. So you can now create a case in detail view. So for the longest time, you could only create cases in the quick view. And now, just like V1, you can create cases in the detailed view, which offers a lot more fields, and you can skip the initial quick view creation mode. You can also search and add products in a full screen view. So there's also a bit user friendliness built into the system, so you can have a correct overview of your products instead of having to navigate through a tiny screen. So that's great. And you can launch third-party apps from the case quick view. So that means if you have any kind of mashup or accessing external services, you can have that in your quick view instead of only in the detailed view. Timeline icons can be hidden in adaptation settings, so just to clear the clutter from the screen for your users. And the access restriction in the role, when you set the access restriction to myself, it now includes employees. So that means both the reporter and the employee affected by the case can now be referenced. This is not really a case enhancement. It's more a visit enhancement, but you can add cases to your visits. so that the visibility of any cases that your customer may have are also visible to your sales reps that are on the go and maybe need to discuss specific cases with the customer during the visit. Now there is a relationship you can define between the case and the visit to never forget anything during your visit. That's it from us.
Thank you, Tin. A lot of great features of
For
Sales
sure.
and Service Cloud. A little bit less of Emarsys, but let's stay tuned. And on the 20th of November, you'll discover all of the features, and we will see you in 3 months' time. Bye.
See you next time. Bye-bye.